So, anyways, we watched Phantasm 3, Lord of the Dead. Joe, tell us all about the centuries.
Okay, well, in this movie, a guy that fucking died in the last movie, they kind of gloss over that scene. They show it, but they kind of cut it a little different to where he gets up. He didn't die. That was just bullshit that we clearly saw in the last movie that he died. No, he made it out okay. So he's cruising around looking for little boys to pick up. He
Sit
ends
in
up
the fireplace.
he ends up finding one. And this little kid, he's a tough guy kid. He knows how to shoot guns and fucking shoot bows and arrows, and he knows how to throw grenades and like
You
set
know what
little.
else he knows how to do, Joe?
I don't
He,
know,
he
Tom.
knows how to clap cheeks.
Okay. I guess I saw an edited version of this film because I did not see that scene, thankfully. Uh,
You want me to send it to you?
so he picks up the little boy, says, "Hey, you're my kid now," which is prison talk, so where it means like, "Hey, I'm fucking you now." But then
Told
he's
him to hold his pocket.
like, this kid's playing hard to get, so he tries to ditch the kid at an orphanage, but the kid's like, "No, man, people get fucked in orphanages too. I'll stick with the bald dude." So he sneaks back in the car. They're cruising around. They go to a mausoleum, and and those balls, those sentinels, sentries, sentinels are flying around,
The
and
citronellas.
yeah, but he gets saved. Old Reggie does by
By
two
Jesus?
by two gentlewomen that are militants. They're militants because they're wearing camouflage and shit. And one of them gets killed, and they do the whole thing where, let me hold this so we can have the effect where the fluids, the blood is going to pour out of my head, and I'm holding it in place.
Well, I mean, you'd be trying to pull it out of your head too, right?
No,
If
I'd probably be
something's
dead.
stuck in.
You know, probably be dead if something like punctured into my brain or something. Um, but yeah, so they kill one of them. The other one uses her nunchucks to fight the fucking sentinel sentry. What are they called? The Sentinels. Like the X-Men that are out there killing mutants and stuff. So Reggie, he's not getting anywhere with the kid, so he decides to start being very inappropriate,
Well, I
rapey.
mean, you gotta build it up. Like they notice that Reggie's coughing a little bit, and then he starts to get a sniffle, and then the kid checks him. He's just like, Reg, I think you're getting a little warm. You're getting a little warm there, Reg.
He's
And
got a
Reg
fever,
says,
right?
yes, Joe, that's exactly what he had.
Okay. Well, anyway, the lady, she says, "Me too, me too," and so Reg gets nowhere with her, and so they hunt down the zombies that are driving hearses. They follow them to another mausoleum, and there they I don't know, they bust Mike out because he's in one of the spheres or something. I don't know. Inside the spheres is like a whole other dimension or
That's
something.
Jody.
Jody is one of the spheres now, one of the sentinels, because that's what he was doing all the time. He would shrink the victims, you see, and then get their brains and put the brains inside the sentinels. There's
Jody
thousands
came back
of
a
them.
little different.
You did.
Jody, because he came back as a sentinel.
Mm-hmm.
Jody says, I hate the people with the fever. You know what I call those fucking people with the fever? Muties. Those fucking muties. See, he's a sentinel, you see.
Yeah. So they fight the tall man, and we realize, oh, he's got a weakness to cold. This was established in the first movies.
What can you do to bring down a fever?
Freeze the fever, they say. And
Get
yeah,
some ice cream.
so they throw him in the freezer, and then they throw him in a cryogenic chamber.
But before they stick him in the freezer, they say, hey, I think you need to cool off. And then they put him in the freezer.
Yeah, because there's a lot of one-liners in this movie. Yeah, this is definitely devolved from the first movie. This this is standard movie shit. You know, not very good, but not bad. I dig it. It's still a fun movie. But the tall man is not dead. He's not, and he kills Reggie at the end. Clearly kills Reggie and kills this other little boy too. Pulls him through a window. A la
No, he didn't kill. He didn't kill the Reg man. He
the
was
Reg
just
man.
pinned up against a wall, like.
Yeah, that's right. All those sentinels that were hanging by strings on the ceiling, they attacked him and pinned him against the wall. I don't know. Again, the ambiguity of the ending. I guess Reggie's not dead. We'll probably see him in the next movie. But he clearly died in the last movie.
I mean, I like it. This is more in tone with the second movie than the first. More of a sequel again that you would expect from a typical horror movie and all that shit. But I liked it. It's different. Like all the movies so far have been a little different. In this one, we realized why Mike wasn't cast by Universal in the second one. He's not a good actor. But yeah, I liked it. I liked them all the same. So far, I have liked these movies all the same, and I think they're all pretty good for different
I like
reasons.
this one a little less. Definitely one of the better part threes out there. You know, usually part threes just go to shit. And this one is still it's okay. You know, it's a good watch. I like a lot of the sets. You know, you could tell they're working on a cheaper budget than they did before, or even in the first movie. Uh, but they make it work. You know, some of the shit looks good, some of it doesn't. But and it definitely went the route of like, hey, you know, all these other movies are being, you know, with the jokes and everything. Let's throw in our own jokes and one-liners and stuff like that. Let's give the people something to smile about. That's what they're doing. And
And it's definitely more of its time with
yeah,
more creature and gore effects in it and shit
so I
too.
didn't like that aspect of it, but it's good. You know, it's a decent. Like I said, for a part three, it's really good.
They just should have went to Vegas.
hmm I didn't post that I'd watched this one. I'll do this after the show.
Well, I would recommend. And again, I really remember liking part 4.